Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our review of Snowfall Season 4, Episode 5. This season is so good. I don't want to come on here and just be like everything is amazing all the time because, every show has its flaws, but this is probably my favorite season of the show so far.
This is easily my favorite season of the show so far. It is so good.
I really was not sure what they were doing with Leon at the start of this season. I'll be honest, I felt like he was a little bit adrift, and that maybe because the character was adrift, but this is such a good episode for Leon. I felt for him in a lot of ways. I mean,
Past two episodes have been really good for Leon.
like he got himself in so deep, and then he just so happened to kill one of the worst people imaginable for him to kill, and he has just gotten himself like he is stuck in quicksand. I don't know how he climbs out of this.
No, I don't know. All I know is that Franklin is there for him, which is not something that I was sure was going to happen after seeing everything that happened with Franklin in that bookstore. So we'll talk about that, but I was glad to see that.
We got a lot to say with Franklin, with Leon, with Scully and Manboy, and whatever sort of possible partnership they now have. Oh boy. If you guys do like this video, though, be sure to subscribe because we're having a lot of fun talking about this season, which I'm sure is only going to get crazier from here on out.
Okay, so let's start with Leon.
Okay.
Who was just incredible in this episode again. Like last week's episode was one of my favorites of the season. This one equally as good. So we're looking at the fallout now from what happened with Leon. He accidentally killed Scully's daughter, who is also the niece of Manboy. So the two of them have long had a bad history with each other, and they haven't been really working together. And we even saw Manboy and Franklin try to take out Scully. It went sideways, so they're really mad at each other. But the death of Scully's daughter, Manboy's niece, has brought them together in a way that's going to be very difficult for Franklin, because at the end of the episode, they sort of had this talk where Manboy had said, listen, like, I have taken care of somebody that you needed me to take care of, and now I am coming to you. Leon has done this thing. You have to take care of it. If you don't, things are not going to work out. And in the end, Franklin decided not to take care of Leon in the way that, he wanted him to. So now we're in this situation where Manboy and Scully are kind of working together, but not working together, but they're both like, we're not working with you.
Okay, let's just start with Leon here, because Leon, he's good at a lot of different things. I think we have seen that over the years with this show, but he's sloppy here and there. Like, he creates some messes for himself.
And sometimes he falls into messes. Like, he just happened to be in that car when Scully's crew drove up. Like, that was just a happenstance.
The funniest thing, though, is that, who would have thought that it would be a mess from Leon that would cause Franklin to sort of realize, I need him, because it's clear that Leon needs Franklin, but I think Franklin, in the midst of probably what's going on with all these sort of shifting allegiances, recognizes, here's Leon, someone who could be loyal to me, and I think he sort of has a code that he's willing to follow, but pretty bold move for Franklin to sort of say, right in front of people who may eventually band together, outnumber him, and destroy his whole operation, I'm not like you. I'm loyal to my people. It's like, those are kind of fighting words. Like, I don't know if I would really, poke the metaphorical bear here and make them mad.
And it was just sort of an interesting power talk in general, because we've got Manboy basically saying, listen, you have me, you have Scully, Leon's not able to participate in his part in all of this to get all of these drugs out of here. So what are you going to do if you've lost all of us? And then you've got Franklin on the other side being like, well, I'm the only person that has the product, where Manboy is willing to say it doesn't matter if you don't have anywhere to distribute it. You are just basically sitting on a pile of product by yourself. So what exactly are you going to do? Like, who is really holding the power here?
Manboy is smart. Like that's
Oh
one
my
of the
goodness,
things.
he's so smart.
This is why we were warned about Manboy earlier this season, because yeah, if nobody is there to buy the product, what is Franklin gonna have to do? He's gonna probably have to slash his prices.
Louis warned us all of us, that
Yes.
Manboy was gonna end up being a problem, and he was ambitious, and he is smart, and he
Yeah.
is all of those things, and he is putting that on the table right now.
Yeah. And if Franklin can't make money, how is Teddy gonna feel about all of that? Like, I don't think he's gonna be altogether thrilled either.
No, I don't think so. But what I also liked about all of this stuff that was happening with Leon, like Wanda last week, who is sort of someone that keeps Leon honest about what he's doing. I think that everything that's happening with Leon right now is keeping Franklin a little bit more honest and grounded about everything that's happening as well.
Yeah, because now I think he has a greater sense of clarity and understanding of how deep Leon is in, and also now just what is going to happen to Leon moving forward. Because like Teddy say, you know, she may have tried his best, but there's like actual legitimate evidence that ties Leon to this.
Yeah, there's a fingerprint on the bullets, and then of course he's tied to all of Franklin's family,
Yeah.
and there's nothing that Teddy can really do about it. So by Franklin saying, I'm going to stand with Leon, is a big stand, not just against his business, but now he also is going to end up in a bunch of sort of legal problems with Leon. And Leon in general is just doing so badly after this. I mean, Jerome is right. Some people are never able to come back from this. Killing, a child, it's something that it looks like Leon is unable to come back from. I mean, he's having nightmares about it. That scene with Sissy doing his hair was so powerful, where he was just let it all out, and he's just crying. Like, this actor is so good. This whole cast is so good.
That scene was heartbreaking, because I think
it really was.
It meant so much to Leon to sort of, that hair is an extension of himself, and when it's changed, and I think it's hitting him in that moment, everything has changed. He's now basically going to have to be on the run in order to, what is his other option? Turn himself in? Like, he doesn't have a lot of options anymore.
Yeah, I mean, even that scene with his own mom, who said, listen, you can't stay here. I've got your siblings here. I can't risk everybody, but I love you. Here's the money that I have. Here's the robe off my back. I was just like, oh my goodness. And then later we see him with Sissy, who is doing his hair and sort of hugging him. And it was sort of that moment that Leon really needed. He needed that sort of feeling of somebody has his back.
It was important to see that. I think it was very important to me that we see Franklin and Leon sort of resolve at least some of what's going on with the two of them. But I don't know where Franklin goes from here, because if Scully and Manboy are working together and Leon is not, working his typical territory, like, who is on his side now? Like, what's going to stop these people from all just banding together and coming in and taking away his product?
Yeah, I mean, this is a situation where I think Franklin has to get very creative, and he has to start working maybe some of the other people in these groups. So by Franklin saying, in front of Manboy's people, unlike you, I take care of my people, and he's showing it at this moment, standing up to Manboy, and there are people watching this conversation in Manboy's, crew. Is it then possible that Franklin is going to go to sort of his next in charge to then remind him, Manboy's not going to take care of you, but as you just saw, I take care of my people. So if we get rid of Manboy, you will be next in charge, and we will work together. How do you feel about that? That then the seeds he's already planted could move into something else, because Franklin is very smart like that.
I'm going to pick up on something you said there and then connect it to another part of the show, because we saw, and I know Irene is not everybody's favorite subject in the world of Snowfall, but
Not mine.
the scene with Irene and the editor, where the editor is basically telling her, you want to try to find the source, find somebody who is feeling disenfranchised, find somebody who's a little bit angry,
Yep.
like find the weak link. It's like, the editor needs to come and tell Franklin this same advice, because it's totally true. There's got to be a weak point in Scully or Manboy's crew. Find somebody who is able to flip over. Maybe it's because of that speech he gave, and then he can start to sort of piece things together. He's charismatic. He can find a way to figure this out.
Yeah, I mean, the only option I really see is that he does need to take out Manboy, replace him with one of his people or one of Manboy's people, and do the same thing with Scully. But Franklin doesn't really have a lot of help right now. I mean, Leon is not in a position where he's able to sort of be muscle for him. His actual muscle, Peaches, has left him right now. So he doesn't really have a lot happening. It's really just sort of him and his family and a couple other people.
I think this does sort of roll into, I don't know why I'm doing this for rolling, but
Yeah,
it
no, I
rolls
don't
it rolls into a different subject with Teddy, because we know what Irene is doing right now and sort of trying to find a way to connect the CIA and everything else to what's going on.
Yep.
If Teddy starts to get further wind that, like, Irene, this reporter, is actually some level of danger, is he gonna go, like, totally, I don't even know the right word for it, but like John Rambo on this whole operation and be like, I will help you, Franklin. I will take out some of these people. We also need to find a way to get Irene out of here.
Oh, Teddy's for sure going to take care of Irene.
Like, that part of it is...
Irene is not making it out of this season alive, and if she does, she's not making it out of next season alive. There's no way.
Yeah, it just feels like Teddy... I know you wanted to stay out of Franklin's business earlier this season, but Franklin's business and everybody's business is about to become your business if Irene figures it out.
Well, the other thing that I'm wondering about when it comes to Teddy is if Franklin is really this weakened right now,
Yeah.
where he's unable to push that product, is then Franklin also in trouble a bit with Teddy, that Teddy may go and find someone else or start to try to work with someone else and bring his drugs to someone who can actually distribute them. Like, Franklin is in such a bad spot right now with his choice to stand by Leon.
I think it's a legitimate question to ask with Teddy, because I get the feeling that Teddy... He's sort of wondering in his head, have I been doing this for too long? Or, because he just, like, him and Gustavo just, like, took out Fuentes and all these other people. Like, he's got to be feeling, am I in too deep here? And the only way to start to, like, swim back out to the surface is, like, where can you cut things that are causing you more stress? And clearly Franklin Saint is about to cause you a lot more stress.
Gustavo is also causing some stress.
Yes.
That whole drunken, I'm the CIA, you can't arrest me, was the best Gustavo moment ever.
It's better than him at the birthday party?
Yes.
See, okay.
I was dying.
It was really...
It was so funny.
That was Gustavo's version of, you can't arrest me, don't you know who I am? Which we see from at least like 2 or 3 celebrities like every year. And, I will admit, I haven't been the biggest fan of Gustavo in the last episode or 2 because it didn't feel like they gave him anything. Just that one scene for Gustavo, was just, that is enough.
It was good.
Even if you give me nothing else great with Gustavo for like the next 2 weeks, my heart is now full.
I mean, moving forward, I'm not sure how Leon continues to be a bigger part of this story, because his face is everywhere. Yeah. It's all over the news. Plus, we have Manboy looking for him. We have Scully's crew looking for him. Everybody's looking for him. And that's the part of this episode that makes me the most nervous, because I really like Leon. I love the actor. I love the material he's been getting. And I don't want him to sort of have to go hide, or if Franklin's like, hey, listen, I'm just going to, give you a truck full of money and I need you to go somewhere out of the country, out of wherever. Like, I need you to go somewhere and just hide out for however long until this all blows over. I don't want Leon to leave.
Here, I'm going to predict something here. I think we may not see Leon in the next episode.
I don't like that. But
I wouldn't be shocked if there was an episode coming up this season that was almost entirely about Leon, where you sort of see where he is going, what he's been up to, and if there's sort of a way for him to find his way back. Like, we see this every now and then with shows like a Lost. I mean, The Walking Dead has done it here or there. Like, I'm not always for it. I think you can do too many of these and it loses its effect. But I would love a big Leon episode at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, after getting these past two, I would love to see a big Leon episode. But that's my worry coming out of this, is that all this really great storytelling that's been going on with Leon and the connection to everything, that he is going to have to go into hiding. His face is all over the TV. Everybody's looking for him. He can't stay with Franklin because the cops are now also going to be digging into Franklin's whole family. So Leon can't be with them. So where does Leon go? I don't know. And maybe Wanda?
Maybe.
That's the thing, is like, we don't really know what happened with her after the whole hospital thing. Did she actually get clean? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to sort of have that happen like that. But if she did, is she someone who could then maybe help?
There are a lot of, like, lost Snowfall characters that are just sort of, like, in the wind right now, because we don't know where Wanda is or what's going on with her. Like, is Nyx just stuck somewhere in evidence now and we're never going to see or hear from him
Nyx.
again?
No, I'm fine with that.
Is Mel just off somewhere now, like, you know, living her new life and she's done?
Yeah, I mean, she very well might be. There might be not any other story to tell with her.
Yeah, I think Nyx, we're good. We don't need any more updates on him. But everybody else, I'm fine to get a little more, obviously, more of Leon.
Yeah, I mean, this next episode feels like it's going to be a lot more about Franklin, which is good, too. I mean, I love me some Leon, but I mean, I really love Franklin. So now that we know where he's standing on this and what is going on, that there's sort of this stalemate where they're like, well, we're not going to push your product. Well, fine then. You know, I'm going to have to sit on my product kind of thing. That's like, okay, everybody's losing right now.
Yeah.
They're unable to sell anything. He's unable to give anything. Nobody's making money. So how is this going to get resolved? And I think some of that's going to be coming up in this next episode. It has to.
Well, let's get your theories on this, everybody, because how do you think Franklin is going to get himself out of this? Where do you think Leon is going to go? How much longer in the Snowfall world does Irene really last? Because now that she's, like, getting more resources, it probably means more problems. Let us know. And yeah, if you enjoyed this discussion, subscribe for more updates, give this video a like, and if you do want to support us more, check those links to both the store and our Patreon, where we do Q&As at the end of every month. Thank you guys for watching with us, and we'll see you here next time.